Hey, good evening. I almost said good morning because that's the kind of day I've had. What's up? It's Friday. I am Cresta Muhammad. My co host is Antoine. And tonight, our guest co host is Danielle Lewis. That's right. What's up, Red Lip? So, this is the Madness Collective, and this is your first time tuning in. We do our best to recap. It used to be the week's headlines, now it's the day's headlines, the hour, hey, whatever happens. We do our best to try and tell you what's going on in these streets. So, tonight topics are Megan versus Nicki, Taylor Swift deepfakes, Trump owes an additional $83 million to E.G. and Carroll, the cornrows trial, that's what I'm calling it. The GOP does not want a border deal, and we'll talk about why. 65,000 abortions have been, 65 accounts of rape that a pregnancy has resulted from have been noted since Dodd decision came down. We'll talk about that. And then once again, measles are back. All that and more on this episode of The Madness Collective. Hi. Danielle, welcome back, Danielle, to the new and improved.
Hi.
What's
We
up,
just
girl?
got here.
Oh, wait. Is
How
my
y'all
name?
doing? What's going on? How you feeling?
No, the names aren't up there.
Oh, I was like, because I'm proud of mine tonight. It's okay. Okay. So we're just gonna jump in, and first up, music. So Megan, I woke up this morning I was like, oh, Megan dropped a new track. It is called Hiss, and I'm gonna just start with the first how it opens. I'm gonna just go ahead and recite this, not in full like bars. I'm gonna just say what I see. Okay. I just want to kick this shit off by saying fuck y'all. I ain't gotta clear my name on a motherfucking thing. Every time I get mentioned, one of y'all bitch ass niggas get 24 hours of attention. I'm finna get this shit off my chest and lay it to rest, so let's go. Then she says, I feel like Mariah Carey, I felt this line, Danielle. I feel like Mariah Carey got these niggas so obsessed. My pussy so famous might get managed by Kris Jenner next. Okay. Woo. Bars. Then here's the key line. Those hoes don't be mad at Megan. Those hoes be mad at Megan's law. I don't really know what the problem is, but I guarantee y'all want to start. I'm gonna stop there. Not to exhale.
Look,
We,
look. When I had to be reminded of what Megan's Law is. If y'all
so let's
don't,
so let's say what that is. So
yes.
Megan's law is a federal statute that requires law enforcement authorities to make registered sex offenders public information. Who might that be relevant to in the rap game?
Actually, well, we know the person that it's pertaining to, but you can pick one of three associates of hers that it could potentially pertain to. Her brother, her husband, and Tekashi 6ix9ine. They're all registered sex offenders. She's been surrounded by them.
I forgot about
So
whatever his name is. Danielle.
Um, I was like, you know me. I'm always trying to like spin things or trying to see the whole picture. Like maybe she was just playing on her name, and it doesn't really have anything to do with anyone else. But yeah,
you're smart. You're smart. You're
understand
smarter
what
than that, girl. You know, you're smarter than that.
I know.
So, so
You know,
then,
always trying to. But I don't know when that beef was started.
so okay, apparently, because remember they had Hot Girl Summer in 2019, so everything was cool then. Since then, apparently, last year or two, there's been a little bit of, I guess, what they said, sub posting, sub shade, or whatever. There's been a little bit of not seeming like everything is still not cool anymore, or whatever. But so here's the thing. So Megan drops this, and I think within like 15, 20 minutes or so, Nicki plays a portion of a track that sounds like it's already in existence, but she only plays a portion of it, and that says, "Bad bitch, she like 6 foot. I call her Bigfoot. The bitch fell off. I said, get up on your good foot." And she has that repeat a couple times in the span of again with the exhaling and Danielle's face.
It's a lot because I've get on the good foot is a reference to Tory shooting her in the foot.
Oh
But
wait,
going back to Danielle, real quick to Danielle's question, the reason this beef started is because of the obsequious nature of all these females in their relationship to Nicki Minaj. She wants all of them to bow down to her. Megan didn't do that. Megan said, I did a song with you. That was great. But I like Cardi and I'm going to do a song with her. As soon as she started working with artists that Nicki didn't like, that's when Nicki stopped fucking with her and dropping the subs. I saw her in interviews. She's like, people always ask me why I don't reach out to the other girls and I feel like I'm being used. And I'm like, y'all did a song. She ain't supposed to work with nobody else again after that. And you have too many enemies. You don't like nobody. So she would be isolated, only working with you. It just doesn't make any sense. So, but go ahead. I'm sorry. I just wanted to clarify that.
No, I just wanted to add, in addition to these bad bitch, she likes 6 foot, Bigfoot lyrics, she also posted a picture of her manicured feet. Cute picture though, I ain't gonna front. Manicure was cute.
She has beautiful feet. She always references her feet in her songs too.
Manicure was on point.
I like long toenails. That's just for me. Maybe it's a dancer thing. I don't know.
You know what though? Actually, Danielle, I thought that hit me too. I was like, I don't know about that. But the white, it was pretty. She has pretty feet, long toenail. I'm kind of with you on that. Also, then what happened is Megan posted a picture of herself laughing.
Right.
Technically, I guess in response.
As you do.
As you do. So, only other thing I wanted to mention. Go ahead, Danielle.
No, I just said appropriate.
Right. So, someone on Twitter who I found, because again, I was having a field day on Twitter with this. This woman though laughed about Nicki's response. She was like, okay, so she talked about your man, called you a pussy. Well, you know what I mean? She was kind of like hyping up, but then she goes, she said, you said 6 foot, Bigfoot, good foot, and then she started laughing, the chick on Twitter. And then she said, and then you said 1 foot, 2 foot, red foot, blue foot. Like she was like, Nicki, come with more, right? Like she was like, that's what you got.
It definitely did match the energy because when you listen, because she goes in on Drake, there's a part of one of the first strays is her ex, Partisan Fontaine. Which is weird. Partisan isn't really well known as a rapper, but he's Cardi B's ghostwriter. So it's fun. That's probably how they met in the first place because Cardi B and Megan are like damn near best friends, it seems like. But he had went on a tour talking shit about her, saying that she had lipo because when Cobra came out, the first single she dropped from her new project, she said that she came home and he was getting his dick sucked in the same bed that she sleeps in. That was one of the lyrics. So she he came out with a mixtape saying this side. Then she basically said in his that you're terrible in bed. You never met my needs, and I should have fucked your friend. So that's what she said about him. She also, if you remember with Drake at 20, it goes so deep. Drake and 21 Savage released a Watch the Throne type project last year.
True.
They took shots at Megan. I think Drake said something. It was a double entendre, like she lied about the shots. Which, if you don't know, you would think he's talking about ass shots, since Megan says her ass is real, but he meant lying about being shot in the foot. So that was what he said. And then 21 Savage said something along the lines of, listen to one track on your album, and I was like, I'm good. So basically Megan says on his, she's like, how are you talking about my body when you got the same fucking scars that I do? Alluding to the speculation that Drake has had lipo himself. And then she makes a mention of a fake accent, and people thought she was talking about Nicki as Roman, because when she does Roman, she does the British accent.
Yeah.
I believe she was talking about 21 Savage, who was actually born in Britain. Yeah, he moved here when he was about 13, so that nigga had an accent when he came. If you didn't know any better, you would think he was raised in Atlanta. So it's a lot. Oh, there's Crest is gone.
But
yeah, so it's a lot.
Can it also be about Drake? Because you have an all-500 accent. That ain't real.
It could be about Drake as well. So yeah, it's a lot.
I think hers is smart because it's so. It could be about a few different people.
Yeah.
She's not saying any names specifically, but it's like a hip hop will holler.
That part.
Yes.
That part. So I'm sorry. Can we quickly go back? Two things. One, y'all just disappeared for 2 seconds. I don't know what happened on the other end, but y'all were gone, literally. And
You disappear from me
oh,
for
okay.
yeah.
Okay, so we'll see how that plays back. Sorry, y'all. And then second, I'm sorry. So she came home and her man was having his dick sucked by somebody else in their bed. That's what you said?
Yeah, the same bed she said she slept in.
Can we just ask super quick? Why so trifling? Why can't you get your dick sucked someplace else? I don't understand.
Apparently, to go ahead.
Was she actually talking about him, or was she just, using hyperbole
okay.
and, as people do?
Well, that's the stance she took. That's the stance she took. When he went on a tour talking about her, she was like, "How do you know I was even talking about you? Why are you so bothered?" So that's who she was dating, though. That's the only high-profile person we've known her to date of late. But
here's the thing. But that happens. That has happened. Like whatever. If it wasn't him, that has happened. So
yeah, I don't think she would lie about it. But to be fair, God, these people put their business out here far too often. Megan, for the longest, maintained that she was not fucking Tory Lanez. We found out she was fucking Tory Lanez. And I guess Megan was dating, wow, I know so much about these people's fucking sex lives.
We gonna move in.
When Megan was going to court about all the Tory Lanez shit, she was dating Partisan. So at that time, until she got on the stand, she was maintaining that she had not slept with Tory. And Partisan thought she hadn't slept with Tory. So when she had to get up there and admit to several people in the industry she had slept with, Partisan was embarrassed. And that, to me, was probably the breakdown of their relationship. At least that's what Partisan claims.
Sensitive ass nigga. Anyway, we gonna move on. Hey Monique, hey Dominique, and DeWarren Smith said rich people are so messy. True.
Hey cousin.
Hi. So next up, Taylor Swift. Speaking of, we're still talking about music. So the headline is Trolls have flooded Twitter with a graphic of Taylor Swift AI fakes. So there's a sexually explicit AI generated image of Taylor Swift that went viral on Wednesday on Twitter because, of course, it's gross over there. And one of the most prominent examples on Twitter attracted more than 45 million views, 24,000 reposts, and hundreds of thousands of likes and bookmarks before the account got suspended because Elon Musk is a horrible human being who should not be running Twitter. The post was live.
He also fired. Remember when he took over? He fired most of the department that would have handled this because people notified Twitter immediately. And for 45 million people to see it before you take it down, and it's more than 45 million because it spread like wildfire. But I mean, they did a good job of getting rid of it because I didn't see it anywhere. So after the fact, but it's far too late.
It was live on the platform for like 17 hours.
Yeah, that's terrible.
Like the fuck. And it's, I'm saying sexually explicit. It's sexually explicit. I didn't see it, but I understand what it was. So, and sadly, the most viewed and shared were Taylor portrayed her nude in a football stadium.
Yeah.
Okay. Can we just address also all this fucking commentary and hoopla about her attending the game to see her man play? Like, y'all act like they keep the camera on her. Like, they cut to her and then they cut away from her. And I'll say this. This father posted about his daughter. He was like, my daughter watched the game with me because she wanted to see Taylor. And she had such a good time. She's like, oh, I like football. I want to keep watching.
It's fantastic. And you know what? The NFL is loving it. They're eating it up. It's good for publicity. But you know something that somebody alluded to. It's a black dude on Signify B-Sides, I think on YouTube. He has a whole video on this, and he talks about how, because Travis Kelce is a snack, but Travis used to be in the black girl.
Yes, he
what?
Was.
And so Signify B-Sides showed a photo, and he's like, yeah, it's funny how things change. So he showed a photo of him where he kind of had the John B. goatee and the beard. And he said he called that photo. It was Hey Girl, and it was like something a black girl would respond to. And then they showed him with Taylor, and I don't know if y'all recognize when he started dating Taylor, he cut the goatee off. He just has a mustache, so he looks like a white cop now. He was like, there's a reason for that.
But there's already actually been like a slight shift, kind of not quite back to the goatee black Travis.
Okay.
He looks less like he would vote for MAGA, because he went full, like, it was a 180. I was like,
I'll take either. Cut it off if you need to. I don't care.
I just wonder if that deal is between Taylor's people and the NFL or her PR and his PR. That's
possible. That's definitely possible, because it's huge. Everyone is benefiting from this. Even people complaining, even unfortunately, even this whole AI thing. This helps them. I mean, it's terrible for a woman to be exploited in that way, but ultimately this is publicity for the NFL and to everybody. This was the top news story today.
Well,
it was the biggest news story today.
Also, with regard
to your point, it doesn't help Taylor, but it helps Twitter, because they've been losing a lot of followers, and for them to keep that up for so long.
Oh, to get the eyeballs over there, yeah.
For so long, they got so many more eyeballs than they probably had the last year.
That's true.
Yeah, but also with regard to the use of AI now, because I don't think Taylor's team said it, but it's just talking about whether or not she's going to sue and or like what legislation needs to look like to try and like wrangle this in to some degree. That's part of the ongoing issue with the use of AI. And I don't know what that might look like, but something needs to be explored. Like that was part of the whole thing with like the strikes. Like what we do, how are we protecting people's images? So
the law hasn't caught up with the technology though, because right now her lawyers can't point to a law that would be a smoking gun for a triumphant in a lawsuit, because at best at this point, if she tried to sue, it would be the impetus behind, the legal system beginning to put things on the books to protect people. But the argument at this point is, it's like you're a celebrity, which means you're a public entity, and everybody knows this isn't really you. Nobody thought that was really her. So the argument is, it's not you. Why are you bothered? But that's terrible.
There's some stuff with either misuse of like a celebrity image. There's also revenge porn, that requires some other things to it. But look, a good lawyer can find something. So,
Oh yeah, true.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. So speaking of legal things, Daryl George, which a lot of people probably don't remember who this is, a young black man, teenager, he's 18, who has been wearing a locked braided hairstyle. He was suspended last year for this hairstyle. He has not been in a regular classroom since August 31st. Instead, he's been like serving in-school suspension or spending time in an off-site disciplinary program. So yeah, he's been suspended because of his hairstyle. So this is in Texas, because of course it is. Of course. And his family has filed a formal complaint with the Texas Education Agency and a federal civil rights lawsuit against that hating ass fucking Governor Abbott, and also that criminal ass AG, their Attorney General Paxton, for failing to enforce the Crown Act. So here's where this all reared up this week, because there is a trial set for next month, but more to the point, the superintendent of this district took out a motherfucking paid ad and said, did I lose that? Here's what he said, part of what he said. Being an American requires conformity with the positive benefit of unity. So if your black ass wants to be a part of this society, you need to fucking do what the fuck we say and get as close to whiteness as possible.
Here's something that they didn't particularly, I don't think they emphasized this enough. I went to a Catholic grammar school for 8 years, and I had to wear a uniform for 8 years. I was not allowed to wear whatever I wanted to when I went to school. There was a reason for that. There's a reason for it. So the more I read the article, what I found out is allegedly the actual reason for the issue with his hair was his hair length. they have a policy saying that men cannot wear you can't walk around with bangs and, almost think like a hippie going to a private school or something.
It's
So
like hair below
to
the
me,
shoulders.
there's an argument for that. Now, obviously, people should be able to file for exemptions. If you're a Rastafarian, you're not gonna cut your hair. It's a lot of other reasons you're not gonna cut your hair as a man if your hair is long. But I don't see a discriminatory aspect to that particular rule just off jump. It's the way that they explained it. Had that man said, look, we're not discriminating against anyone. We're moving into, the new millennium like anybody else. We may have to make some adjustments, but this is based on his hair length, not his hairstyle or the fact that he has locks. He can wear locks. They just can't go past his shoulders. Had he said that, I would have given him, some leeway. But to take out this ad, it just feels like the whole purpose behind this was based on racism. The fact that you said you talking about assimilate and conform, that's not the reason. When I was growing up with these rules, it felt like they were put in place so that one student can be jealous of another one, or another one can have a pair of Jordans and you can't afford them. So now you over here being clown because you can't have the same shoe. That sort of thing. So that everybody came to school basically starting at the starting line at the same place. So I understood that when I was in school. But the way this was explained, it's trash. Mm-hmm. And it's in Texas.
Okay, so, and also two things, the current hairstyle, so the policy is right, men can't wear shoulder length hair, and also and here's where the kicker for me is, even if it's like basically if it's tied up, that's one thing, but like if it's undone, like they consider that even if it's tied up, if we can tell that it's longer than your shoulders, then you're not supposed to wear it, which I think is fuck shit, because if my hair is not actually on my fucking shoulders, and he has a very neatly braided locked, like it's kind of pulled up on his head, right? So it's to even let it be hanging requires a whole other fucking thing, right?
Yeah.
One. Two, the Crown Act, which was enacted last year, says it prohibits race-based hair discrimination, bars employers and schools from penalizing people because of their hair texture or protective hairstyles, including afros, braids, dreadlocks, twists, or bantu knots. So even if there's this policy in place with the district, sorry, baby, the Crown Act says we can't do it, especially if there's a religious aspect to it. So no, no, fuck you and this fucking like policy y'all got. He's not unkept, right? But
no.
And then you take this
he's very handsome, clean cut looking. Yeah, well, clean cut's the wrong word, but he look clean. Because I think the military does this for this reason as well, is to promote, unity in some way, camaraderie, brotherhood.
You know what, Antoine?
But this isn't the military though.
Right? If you taking your asses to armed service, you know what you're getting into, okay? So like, don't join that group without an understanding. We just gonna look a certain way. Tony says this is public school. If it conform. Go ahead, Danielle.
I was just gonna say but it is in the rules of the school, so you do know what you're getting into, which was what he was kind of trying to say. The superintendent was, you know what you're getting into because everyone signs these forms that has the rules about the hair length. So again, like to what Antoine was saying, if that was all he said, it was like we just have this policy and it's about the hair length. It's across the board. It has nothing to do with race or texture or whatever. That's just what our rule is. I would be like, you can't really argue with that because you do know what you're getting into. But
and they do allow for exemptions.
Comedy and all that shit.
The exemption.
Now you showing us what you really fucking about.
Yeah.
Right. And the whole exemption, the exemptions, and like I said, the Crown Act being enacted, I'm like, I don't give a fuck what your fucking policy said. Like, because at this point, Texas is so off the chain, I'm going to be mad regardless. So, fuck you. Fuck you.
Yeah.
So, Tony noted, is this a public school? If so, conform. I mean, I still disagree because I'm ready to fight. If not, they don't have a real need to regulate his hair in any way. And I would actually say the opposite. I would say, Antoine, what you're saying, like if it's a Catholic school, like a private school, that's kind of different. So when Monique says, so is everyone in the school hair the same? He is not in the military, right? I'm pretty sure someone in school has green hair, blue hair, and all those other colors.
Well, no, Monique. Honestly, I doubt that they do. If they have a rule about hair length, that's the whole point. I think the problem here is I don't have an issue with the rule. A lot of schools have these kind of rules. You can't wear you got to wear, if your skirt ain't down to your knee, you can't wear it to school, you'll be suspended. They have a bunch of rules. My issue is the response.
Exactly.
You brought race into it when you responded, talking about everybody has to conform. That was the wrong response. This shouldn't have even been a racial thing had they handled it properly. But the fact that they responded that way makes it seem like perhaps it was put in place because you don't like niggas wearing long dreads. That's what it felt like. But
and also to the point you guys are both making, if there is a rule, then it also needs to be applied equally. Because if I walk past and see a white boy with some fucking hair on his shoulders, oh, it's on and popping. Like, what are we talking about right now? So
Right.
yeah, the discriminatory aspect of it to me seems like glaring. All right, moving on. Immigration, fun times. So the main thing, so there's a bunch of articles floating now. This one says immoral. The headline says immoral. Some Republicans rebuke efforts to kill immigration bill to help Trump. So what's popping is the Democrats actually have proposed a lot of fucking options and have asked for more money to help out at the border. Well, guess who's fucking around with that issue is the goddamn Republicans. And so the Senate has come up with like, okay, because they're also blocking Ukraine funding, trying to tie it to border funding. So the Senate was like, all right, bet. We'll do this and this and this with the border. This is what we want with Ukraine. And the Senate seems like they're actually coming close to a deal. Well, motherfucking Colonel Mitch McConnell said, yeah, but we can't basically give Biden a win because we need to help Trump. So this probably not going to happen. So all this talk about the border and it's a mess and it's hot, like it's, the Republicans don't want a solution. They don't want a solution.
misread that. I thought Mitch McConnell said he was supporting it and other people were fighting him. I guess I misunderstood that.
No.
Yeah, that's terrible. Because the thing with him, he's weird. Sometimes he will push up against Trump. He'll be like, no, this is stupid.
Every now and then.
Yeah, but at this point, I just wonder, let's say Trump, and there's a good chance he will. Let's say Trump wins. Okay. He gets 4 years. Okay. He can't do 8. You can't be elected more than twice. This will be the second time he's elected. I know what you're about to say.
Okay, go ahead.
But my thing is, once this era, because I don't think there's ever going to be another motherfucker that's in the presidency that's like him. If somebody tries to kind of imitate his shtick, I don't know how that's going to go over, but I'm just thinking to myself, if he gets in there and he causes all this pandemonium and then he has to leave office, where are all these people going to end up that were sucking him off and sticking their heads up his ass just to be in his good graces when he only has 4 years? I guess in terms of looking at the long game, I guess what I'm trying to say is this could destroy a lot of careers at the end of that 4 years when there's going to be a backlash. This cannot continue indefinitely. At some point, the pendulum is going to swing the other way, and these people are going to look terrible.
They already look terrible. So, but Project 2025, which Republicans have already talked about, means the whole premise is if Trump got back in office, they trying to consolidate power in the executive branch. And here's the thing about how our country is set up and how the presidency is set up. Things that we would think should be like laws and rules don't exist because nobody expected a crazy motherfucker like that to be in office, right? And so sadly, some of the stuff you do need Congress to pass. That's not happening because we don't control the House, right? So you still don't have certain laws in place to protect that office. So if crazy, bully, lying, liar, asshole gets back in, if Orange Hitler gets back in the White House, why would he leave, Antoine? How are we gonna leave? Why is there gonna be another election in 4 years?
He already said he's gonna be a dictator, so
yeah.
He said that.
Try to be like Putin as much as he possibly can.
Like they are outlining what the plan is if they get control again. They telling you, right? Look, if you fucking with a nigga and he's like, look, I ain't gonna be faithful. Look, you can post up here if you want to, I might even hit off a couple bills, break you off when you need something, but I ain't gonna be the only person. You ain't gonna be the only chick. And you're like, okay, I'm just gonna roll with it. You can't get mad later. This motherfucker told you what he was about.
I know. The one thing I do have a certain degree of faith in. It seems like the one branch of government that has been able to kind of say, fuck you, we do what the fuck we do over here, is the military. All these niggas from the military, they will stand up and say, yeah, that's not how this works. I'm not fucking with you. All these people, a lot of them are Republicans. They're conservative. They'll go on the stand in court and say, yeah, this shit is crazy. So I'm hoping that if that attempt is made, that the military steps in and fixes the situation. That's all I can hope for. I'm trying to be optimistic here. I hope we don't turn into Lord of the fucking Flies, but that's not impossible either.
Well, okay, speaking of, because I'm gonna get to Lord of the fucking Flies, because that's actually next headline, in terms of like how this shit is headed, where this shit is headed. But let's just all work to try and make sure he don't get back in office. How about that? Okay.
Yeah, hey, I'm with you on that.
So speaking, yeah. So next headline is GOP governors show support for Texas in the border fucking standoff. So what Crazy Man has done, okay? he's once again had another banner week. He said, he called on Truth Social, Orange Hitler was like calling on all willing states to deploy their National Guard forces to Texas to prevent the entry of illegals. So and 25 GOP governors were like, bet, we down. We got you. This is the setting up of a civil war. And the Supreme Court has already ruled against fucking punk ass Governor Abbott and said, bruh, this whole razor wire, all this extra shit you doing down there, not your domain. It is the federal government's domain to deal with this. And once again, going back to the Democrats have said, look, here's the deal. We can House, which y'all allocate some motherfucking funds so we can go ahead and at least start to try and handle this. Nah, we ain't gonna do that, because if that's gonna look like a win for Biden, we can't do that because we need to help Trump.
That's terrible.
So, and I want to add one more thing, because I heard this, they were talking about it on MSNBC. One of the anchors was like, so there was a quote from a black woman. I was like, she ain't got no name.
Oh my God, Jesus.
Right?
Some nigger said.
I was like, lady, that's not the way to introduce this.
No.
Look, she goes on to say she's this random black woman, this anonymous black woman, is a long-time Democrat who has voted for Biden, voted for, I'm assuming Obama, like long-time Democrat, who is now talking about voting for motherfucking Orange Hitler because she's pissed off about this migrant immigrant issue. So I'm like, okay, so you paying enough attention to know that. Are you also paying attention that the motherfucking Republicans are blocking getting anything done?
This is where, again, I don't want to sound elitist, but some people should defer to others for advice when determining what is on the table and the lesser of two evils and what truly affects you. Because the thing with, I'm gonna tell you this, we know that there is this growing trend amongst a lot of minorities to speak on this whole immigration issue. And it feels like, I think I mentioned this the first when we came back, it feels good to punch down when you have been the punching bag for so long.
I can see that.
It's why a lot of black men are homophobic, and it's part of this new trend with minorities being, angry at immigration. And it's terrible because it's showing how effective this strategy is. That is the same strategy that Trump used to get all these country bumpkins to vote for him by creating this threat of Mexicans stealing your jobs and raping your daughters and bringing drugs in and all that sort of thing. And it's like, now niggas are falling for it. Because I think I told y'all the statistic. Right now, the polling shows that 25% of black men are voting for Trump.
I can't. Jesus, Lord, help me.
I
wanted to highlight Tony's comment. Tony, because what you said about the military. Tony said, but even with the military, they're generals that do agree with him. he had one in his cabinet. So you do always have to worry about him appointing that type to chairman or as a service chief.
That's true.
Actually, and actually, thank you for that reminder. Because so remember Tommy Tuberville. I don't know if y'all remember. Not again. I eat, sleep, breathe this nonsense. Tommy Tuberville was holding up a good 300 plus, basically military assignments, right? So people were not getting promoted. It was almost like to 400 and top positions because he was the lone holdout on this, just like approving this. This has never been an issue. It's always been bipartisan. Like, yeah.
Oh, I remember this.
Right. Yeah. So just in terms of explaining to people, because again, I always have to make sure I know not everybody pays attention to shit the way I do. But Tommy Tuberville, lone person, everybody's like, yo, what are you doing? So one person, I read something at one point, they were like, he's trying to keep this shit chaotic and not have these positions filled just in case Trump gets back in office.
That's exactly what the strategy is.
Right? So, but
that's
now
disgusting.
He finally had to come up off of it because we have Ukraine, you got Gaza Strip, Gaza-Israeli war, you got us like sending missiles at the Houthis. He couldn't keep fucking with our military like this. Like shit is popping off, right? So he had to come up off of it. But this is the strategy. This is the shit that they're playing the long game per usual.
They always jump. I find it. Well, it's not funny, but when it benefits them, they will say, well, you're about to leave office. You should let the new blood take care of it. But when it's not advantageous to them, they'll say, what, are we supposed to wait for somebody else to come in? This is who you voted in office. This is who is in office right now, and they should make this decision. Specifically talking about like appointing Supreme Court justices. So it's like the pendulum is always swinging. The line is always moving.
The line is always moving.
Candace. Line always moving.
I was like, we need to
Robin.
hit the table. You gotta hit the table.
Oh, wait. I'm not gonna stay on it too long.
Okay.
If I ever had the money and I had to put on events and Crescent was not available, I would hire Candace. Candace's wedding, the venue when they went to that place that looked like Paris, the invitations, the fashion, like it was gorgeous.
Why?
She has a good eye. Candace got a good eye.
Yeah.
Mostly.
We talking about
Great
Real
man.
Housewives of Potomac.
Yeah, I was like, sometimes some of the stuff she's worn on stage, I'm like, I don't know about that outfit. But
She doesn't get out for events and the looks of.
That's what I'm talking about, events.
Yeah. It doesn't always translate to the fashion. I love
No.
Candace.
No, I was speaking of the fashions at the event.
At the event. Yeah.
that part. So just moving on. So Trump, who I call Orange Hitler, as a reminder, is facing 91 criminal charges. So in addition to him setting up conditions for a second civil war, because that's what they're doing, he called Nikki Haley a bird brain, and he warned people, if you support her, don't come crawling back to me. Okay, he was like, if you support her, you're dead to me. Go ahead.
She looks a little bit like a bird, and that's why I laughed when he called her bird brain. And can we call her by her government name? It's Nimrata.
Oh, government name.
Hey Nimrata, how you doing, girl?
So that's the guy y'all talking about putting back in office. Speaking of that guy, so today we got the verdict in the E. Jean Carroll trial, which is the second trial. So just to give quick reminder on how all this came together, right? She wrote in her book or her blog, or she's a writer, so I think it was her book. She said, relaying the story. I was sexually assaulted by Trump in '96. Trump, who's president at the time, I don't know her. She's ugly. She's not my type. She's lying, right? So,
Even though at one point there was a photo, he got his wife mixed up with her, so she clearly is his type.
That part, right? So he talked super reckless. So then she was like, bet, defamation. You're defaming me, defamation lawsuit. So that was 2019. So, right, so that suit didn't happen until I think 2022. So, and she won. So she was like, he was charged with sexual abuse and he was found liable and he was supposed to order to pay $5 million. It's Trump. He keep talking, right? He can't help himself. Fuck that hoe. I don't know her. She ain't my type. I
Yo,
wouldn't fuck her if I had a broom. Like, you mean, like, he was just
he
talking
went
shit.
harder. He
Going
went
in.
harder after the judge said, "Shut the fuck up." He went harder.
So
And
then,
E. Jean Carroll said, bet.
wait, look, Danielle, Evie and her lawyer said, bet. And was
Yes.
like, what we're going to do is hit you with another defamation lawsuit. So today was the result of that. So at one point during today, he got mad and stormed out the room like a fucking child. And then he came back in. He's a mess. So anyway, $83.3 million. So
Whew.
7.3 compensatory damages, 11 million to repair her reputation, and 65 million in punitive damages.
I love it. I love it.
Too bad
Hashtag
you
winning.
won't actually pay for it. You're just gonna file for bankruptcy, so you don't have to.
But here's
pay
the
for it.
thing. So there's been a lot of commentary about that today, and I didn't get a chance to like really look into it. But given us the setup of some stuff, he might not be able to do what Giuliani is doing, which is filing for bankruptcy to like hide it, because he's also he talks about how much money he has and how all these assets. He keeps doing that. So that's another part of it. They're like, you might not be able to
He
hide
got
this
it.
money.
Oh, because then he'll perjure himself because of the other trial where he was overvaluing his company and his assets. And all
Yep.
See, see why this is a mess, and this motherfucker should not be like y'all candidate. Like, but okay, like this.
Yeah, because you can only bankruptcy only works when you basically Tasha K and you ain't got it right. You can't have a ton of money on hand and say I'm filing for bankruptcy because I don't have it. They'll be like, you said you a billionaire. You can afford $83 million. I mean, that's why it will be just because you file for bankruptcy don't mean it's granted, right?
No, wait.
Yeah.
CJ, 'cause like I said, I didn't get a chance to go deep into it, but CJ said he definitely cannot file for bankruptcy. He has to put up a bond. So no, because that's the thing.
Okay.
The money's there. He's like, I got $400
He got
million
it.
cash on hand. Right. So
Yeah, he got the money.
look,
He's gonna
Ernest
find a
said-
way to lose all of his money in this next year.
Wait. Ernest said the Saudis and the Russians have given him enough money to pay the judgment. I mean, basically. Basically.
And the thing, the one thing that's never really brought up that I think is so like, y'all know how Drake gets a lot of passes. Drake got slapped by Diddy. You know, he got the secret baby with the porn star. He's Canadian. Like you look, ghostwriters, all kinds of shit, right?
The list that you just laid out was fucking
It's a
hilarious.
long list. It's a long list. And look, now, I done just lost my train of thought because I went into a completely other direction. Who are we talking about again?
We were
I
talking
don't know.
about
Trump and Drake.
but she
and-
started. I don't know where you was going with it.
You said Drake.
No,
is
what-
the
like, what-
passes, But we were
No,
talking
right
about
before I brought up Drake, what were we talking about?
Trump and not being on file for bankruptcy and something else.
Shit. I done lost it. It'll come back to me in a minute.
Sorry, I didn't mean to. But your list had me cracking up. I'm sorry. Like, sorry.
It had to do with people getting passes, and I just brought up Drake because he's gotten 1 million passes. I don't know what I was about to say. Damn it.
Passes? We talked about the Saudis and the Russians like putting up money for him.
Oh, that's what I meant. With so many smoking guns, the Charlottesville thing,
Loads.
so many of them. But the one the most disgusting one is the fact that the Saudis killed that American reporter and Trump continued to buddy up with them afterwards because of money. Any American, that goes against what we supposedly stand for. That's disgusting.
Come on. He's made fun of disabled people. He says
Yeah.
only idiots get killed. He talked about dead veterans. Like he talked
Yeah.
shit about
Yeah,
dead soldiers.
I like soldiers. He said, I like what did he say? I like prisoners, POWs don't get caught, or something like that. MIAs that don't get caught.
Soldiers who don't get caught. Like
Yeah.
hard. So
I mean, that's just terrible. So it's amazing that he continues to get away with these things.
wait.
What was killing me was him saying, what did he say about? Basically, he was like, "This is a scheme Biden set up."
Yeah.
They're taking away our First Amendment rights, and I was like, "I'm sorry, excuse me, what?" And then Matt Gaetz supposedly said, complained, a country where you cannot deny a fantastical false allegation is not a free country. And I was like, are you trying to be in support of Trump with this comment? Cause
And he's the last one that should be speaking with his old "come on, shake your body, baby, do that conga ass." Matt Gaetz is the one that tried to say he was raising that Cuban boy, right? That's Matt Gaetz, right?
Plus, there's the allegation of the sex with an underage girl.
Yeah, ain't he on the Epstein list? I think he's a legend.
But here's the thing: even if he doesn't need to be, there's a whole other separate investigation into him having sex with an underage girl. So
how does he keep? I don't understand how he's so powerful. And again, the number of passes. Y'all just letting these people willy-nilly do whatever they want with no consequences. Like, Matt Gaetz is legitimately a terrible person.
Kristen is hilarious.
I gotta dig up that episode because when he pulled that out of his ass, and I'm like, they showed the little out. That was a crazy ass story.
I want to highlight what Danielle said though, because I was going to get to that. Trump called the verdict absolutely ridiculous and claimed it was part of to Danielle's point, Joe Biden directed witch hunt against me and the Republican Party.
It's a scheme that Biden set up.
Biden ain't got shit to do with you sexually abusing
Nothing.
in the 90s.
Nothing.
Oh my God.
Nothing.
Wait.
Biden is over here trying to get y'all reproductive rights back. He ain't got time to be over here fucking with you and your legal problems. Who, you know what? Nobody has the time for that because you got like 93 cases at the same fucking time in multiple states.
I think it's 91, but who's counting?
You got 91 cases and Biden ain't one.
That's a good one, girl.
Bars by Danielle. So, in addition to, see, now I lost my train of thought.
From now on, when somebody says something really egregious and ignorant and ratchet, when they trying to attack somebody with a bar, we go, Megan's Law. Megan's Law.
I love it. Wait, so what, in addition to what you say, Antoine, Biden too busy trying to get us our reproductive rights back and trying to help y'all with these motherfucking student loans, okay? Priority.
Yes.
So, wait, I want to know, Kristen also said new TMC merge. Drake is alive.
That's a good one, girl.
Okay. All right. Wait, oh, good segue. Sorry, not the Drake part, but abortion. Sorry, a little messy. Anyway, so nearly 65,000 pregnancies from rape have occurred in states that have abortion bans. And the key thing, so this is a study from the Journal of the American Medical Association, JAMA, found that more than 64,500 pregnancies have resulted from rape in the 14 states that have banned abortion since Roe was overturned. Of that, a little over 26,000 are out of Texas, which has an almost total abortion ban, meaning, and they only allegedly allow an abortion for the health of the mother. But if you were paying attention to the motherfucking news cycle, there was a white woman with blonde hair who was trying to get an abortion, and they were like, yeah, nah, sorry. Doctors told her, Ma, look, fetus got to get out of there because your womb is going to be a problem if you want to have more children. Texas Supreme Court was like, she good. So Texas has basically a total abortion ban. So yeah, like that's just seeing that headline is why.
It's heartbreaking. That is heartbreaking. And you know, when you think about it, it's, you know, a lot of women don't report the rapes. A lot of times they live with the person that has assaulted them.
Yep. And
when you think about just that dynamic, you didn't want this child. You were forced to have the child. You've already been traumatized. You got to look at this child. It looks like the person that assaulted you. I just can't even imagine. And I just feel like any woman, no matter where you stand in the political field, I'm a dude, and I saw that. I was like, did they put an extra zero on that by mistake? I couldn't believe that fucking number when I saw it. Like, that is unbelievable.
And like you said, that's underreported.
Yes.
Sadly, probably, I'm not going to say not close to the real number, but the real number is I have no doubt, higher.
This trumps everything. This goes across this. It may disproportionately affect, Black and Latino women, but this affects women of every demographic, every socioeconomic strata. Like, this should be enough. For women, this should trump everything. Because even if you're a young woman, you say this don't affect you. Maybe you're going to be a mother one day and you're going to have daughters. You want to protect everybody. Maybe you have a sister that's sexually active. It's all kind, it just could be a million different reasons. But this, any woman that votes for, I don't know, you must be brainwashed. That's the only way I can look at it. You have to be brainwashed to support someone who supports this.
Right? And he's gone out there on record bragging, I did that. I got Roe overturned. That's a clip.
It's terrible.
The Biden administration run it back. He said it. And he's like, I put those justices on there and they overturned motherfucking Roe. So on this whole rape thing in Texas, Abbott, I had to bring this back up. So a reporter, when they implemented their basically total abortion ban, a reporter asked Abbott why he was forcing victims of rape or incest to carry their pregnancies to term under the law. The governor falsely claimed that the law wouldn't actually force rape and incest victims to give birth because it provides at least 6 weeks for a person to be able to get an abortion. 1. 2, then he said, rape is a crime and Texas will work tirelessly to make sure we eliminate all rapists from the streets of Texas. Y'all gonna be so safe. You can walk in the middle of the fucking street at night and you good, okay? He's like, we're gonna go out and we're gonna arrest them and we're gonna prosecute them and we're gonna get them off the streets. So goal number 1 is to eliminate rape so that no person will be a victim.
That is the most asinine, fucking ignorant, dumbass, misinformed, blindly enraging shit I have ever heard. So you gonna get rid of your brother and cousin and uncle and grandpa and father, Joe? Yep. No, I won't say Joe name, but what do you call them?
Bubba Cletus and Jethro. Bubba Cletus and Jethro. Oh, we ain't brought them up in a while.
No, we haven't. No.
You gonna get rid of all them motherfuckers? You gonna get rid of all of the ones who commit incest and who do not commit violent rape, but it's like a little small date rape. You gonna find all of them and put them all in jail.
And everybody has to report. Everybody has to report it in order for you to prosecute somebody. So many. You know how many women that I even know from my college. I know at least 3 women that were raped. I think only one of them reported it. So this is a terrible thing to say, but it's true. Rape has been happening since the first humans popped up on this fucking planet. It's never going to be eradicated, but you know what you could do to make life easier for women that have been victimized? You can allow them to have abortions. That's helpful. That's helpful too.
At a minimum.
But you know what? They will arrest. They will arrest all of them. And then that person will go before a judge and the judge will say, well, he was just a young man who made a mistake. We shouldn't ruin their life. And
even if the woman is unconscious next to a fucking dumpster, that fucking case.
Look, we shouldn't ruin his future.
Oh,
but her future, okay, bet. So a couple more things on Texas, because I got a lot. Actually, not just Texas, these Republicans led states. 15 states led by Republicans rejected federal dollars for a summer lunch program for low-income families. So, to be clear, you're going to force motherfuckers to have babies and then not have any help.
Y'all want to pay for them.
Ain't no universal child care. Ain't no long-term fucking maternity like time off. And the federal government is giving you motherfuckers money to help feed low-income families, and y'all said, no, we good. This is who y'all want to keep in office?
Yeah.
Okay. I can't. I can't. So
no, they want to take the money from the poor kids who put into building a wall to keep the immigrants out who are trying to come here and take all of our jobs. Okay?
Thank you, Danielle. Thank you. You're right.
Come on, guys. It makes so much sense.
I think we have a new follower. Hey, the non-ensemble. I don't know who that is. Hey, Jazz. What's up? So
hey.
The person wrote, they can't even eliminate all races out of Congress. There's, I think, rapists. Rapist or racist? I actually don't know. There's
Oh
rapists-
yeah, wait, it's
Both
well. Hey,
ways.
that's, look, everything tonight has a double meaning. Thank you, Megan.
Yeah, right, exactly. And Dion said Danielle with the bars. So, and with regard to what the Biden administration, so this is in a tweet. Biden said, "Look, give me a Democratic House of Representatives and a bigger Democratic Senate, and we can pass a new law to restore and protect Roe v. Wade. I will sign it immediately." Also, he didn't add this, but look. I bet student loan forgiveness be up in that package too. So what's up? What's up, y'all out here? If you paying attention, pay attention. If
Yeah.
if we want our country the way we actually want it and progress for everybody, please vote for the right people. Just
I
please.
just need the Democrats to get on board and get that messaging out. Like that, we need Obama and we need Gavin to go out there and talk to these motherfuckers in the way that they need to hear it from a man.
So Gavin, did you see Gavin's tweet today? Gavin basically called
No,
Republicans
that's right.
pussy. He said y'all pussy. He said y'all weak and y'all whack. Y'all on some bullshit. I fucking
No.
Gavin. I mean, I'm paraphrasing, but that's kind of what he said. He
Gavin a little bit of a pussy for not running, because you know what, Gavin. The one thing I will say now, it's one of two things. Maybe Gavin is saying to himself, "It looks like Trump might get it. I'll do better if I try and slide in after this next Trump presidency." But even though I've had issues with Gavin, he's redeemed himself in a couple ways over the past year for me. I really thought he should have ran, because
It's fine. Look, to be clear, there was a conversation within the DNC and there was agreement that Gavin not run. That's the only reason why he's not running.
Okay, I wasn't aware of that.
I don't know this for certain, but strategy wise, the way the Republicans fall in line, everybody falling in line right now behind Trump.
Yeah.
Sometimes the Democrats, hey, we got to do what we got to do. And once it was determined that Biden was going to run again, however we feel about that, other people who could have come for the position were like, all right, bet. So I think Gavin's honestly just waiting in the wings. So it's something.
So it's a long. So they're fine. So they're finally for once playing a long game. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay, I'm on board.
Yes.
I'm on board with that.
Yes.
I'm on board with that.
Worst case scenario, if somebody needed to step in before November, like God forbid something happens to Biden health wise or whatever, personally, I don't know if Kamala is ideal, because a black woman running against Trump, that might not look great. I'm sorry.
I think the country would just fucking explode.
It would.
Right.
Absolutely.
So I'm just, again, this is me now just sort of brainstorming. I do think there's a couple people in the wings. Gavin Newsom is particularly one of them. Okay. So
Okay. I can see that.
Jason. That was Jason with that. That was Jason Sliggers. Okay. Calling in from
Oh.
Look, got me all hype. Well, hi, Jason.
Wait, Jason have to use aliases because they keep kicking his ass off every platform for being too goddamn militant. That's probably why he got to use these fucking names.
Oh, look, we got 2 minutes. Because Antoine got a hard out. So, that's the tweet. I mean, that's the message I got, Danielle. Okay, that's the text I got. Okay, I'm just reading the text.
I started back going to the gym this week, and let me tell y'all, when I was younger, I used to enjoy going. It was therapeutic. Fuck that. I fucking hate the gym. Fuck that place. So somebody offered to give me a massage tonight, so I'm going to give me a massage. And maybe something else.
And maybe what?
Nothing. I didn't say nothing.
He said it may be something else. Play it
No,
back.
I didn't. No,
you
I
don't want to
didn't.
hear what I heard. Okay, go ahead. Go
I
on.
was misquoted.
Moving
The
on.
truth is negotiable. Just ask Donald Trump. Don't
Look,
believe
Antoine.
her. Girl, it's fake news, nigga. Fake news.
Antoine, what you can probably rest assured is that he's not going to give you measles, because that shit is back on the rise thanks to motherfuckers not wanting to vaccinate their kids. Okay?
Yeah.
So there's been
Yeah.
a dozen cases of measles in Pennsylvania, Virginia, and Georgia. And
Disgusting.
In the UK, there's actually a much larger outbreak. I just want to say this. Measles was eliminated in 2000. We've talked about this before. If you are a regular
Yeah.
watcher on the show, we talked about this. Measles was eliminated in 2000. It's back. Thanks. That shit is highly contagious. I had it when I was a kid because it wasn't the vaccine. Was
it was still around when we were kids. I knew kids that had it.
But millennials and motherfucking Gen Z, No.
No.
So
Look, y'all, everybody's spinning the block, even a measles.
I wasn't ready for that. Danielle, I was not ready. I was not
You a
ready.
mess. You a mess.
Oh my God. Oh, ooh, Dion said Bex could be in danger. I think that's for you, Antoine. Antoine, I think that's for you.
I'm sure it is. Oh, real quick.
Yes.
Speaking of backs, did y'all hear this shit about Shannon Sharp? This been making the rounds.
Which one?
Okay,
Because,
and me, the three of us have discussed it, and we got 4 minutes because it takes me 26 minutes to get where I gotta go. So, me, Crescent, and Danielle have a text thread. So when all this shit happened with Cat Williams and Shannon Sharp, I was joking with them I'm like, yeah, somebody in my family is always calling this nigga suspect, and they were like, who? I was like, Shannon Sharp. And I think y'all two were like, y'all don't see it. And I was like, I don't really see it either. I think some people say that because, he's a metrosexual dresser. And, niggas always trying to read you, trying to determine your sexuality based on the clothes that you wear.
And look, his clothes are snug, but okay, they look good on you, so I'm not mad at that.
He was spotted at...
my little gaydar, but anywho.
So he was spotted at... I guess it was a basketball game. Y'all know I don't follow shit. He was spotted at a sports event, and he's sitting next to this guy who I think he calls himself Hollywood Mugler. He's Shannon's stylist, but
Okay.
he outed an NFL player that he allegedly was having. Who?
Kerry Rhodes is who he outed. It's who the Hollywood guy.
Oh, you know about this story.
I
Yeah.
don't.
Oh, Danielle. So he got into a tussle. They got into some sort of argument. So he tried to out this athlete, this black athlete, and it got real messy. Allegedly he lost his job. He was a free agent at the time, and nobody wanted him because he had that. What was the guy's name? Sam.
I know.
I can't remember. Yeah. Yeah. So people are making a connection between that. They're like, it's been rumors about Shannon already, and then he's sitting next to this dude at this event, knowing that he did this to someone else, which I think is just. I don't think there's. I think you're trash for doing that.
That's terrible.
So
Michael
it's
Sam.
just
Thank you, Dion. Michael Sam.
yeah. So I was just throwing it out there. I do think it's ridiculous that I think had this guy not had that under his belt, it wouldn't be such a big issue. But to hang out with somebody like that, even though it's your stylist, he's messy, and people are like, he has something on Shannon, that's why he's hanging out with him. The only thing I don't like about it is that I love it when heterosexual men are confident enough to have platonic relationships with gay men. I have dozens. And it's not an issue. But a lot of men won't do it publicly because niggas are homophobic. And if you standing next to a homosexual, they think you fucking that person. So just something to put out there. I don't know nothing about Shannon Sharp's sex life. He seems to be a person that don't bother nobody. Whether he is or not, I think isn't important. But for the fact that people will say, who cares in 2024? Guess who cares? Niggas. That's who care. They care a great deal. It's 8:03.
Okay, so thank you guys for watching. We'll be back Monday at 7 p.m. Danielle, thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Yay! I was gonna mention Justin Timberlake dropped a new track today, and Danielle sent us a post about it, and they was getting his ass in the comments. So go look that up. Go look that up on social media. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, he's in now. What I got from it when I saw the clip, he's emulating Michael Jackson at some point in that clip, right?
Is he?
Is it?
At some point the camera zooms down and he's doing all the Michael moves, and he's got the. Because some people in the comments alluded to it. It was almost like, don't be trying to. What's the word? When you're trying to conjure a spirit, invoke. Don't be trying to invoke the spirit of Michael Jackson after what you did to his sister. Some people I think didn't get that part, but I kept seeing that in the comments. I read a lot of the comments. They were shady as fuck, but I was here.
Oh no, they was getting his ass. Oh, last I
Yeah,
wanted.
yeah.
Jason said you might catch my black arse out at a dead up gay bar, dressed to the nines with a fresh cut, still just being me. And there was a straight yeller feller out in these streets. It'd be me.
Yeah, you look, and you know what, Jason? I don't know how many of you have been to a gay club or a gay bar. I'm a world traveler. Shit, I've done everything. I fucked women, I fucked men. I've been to gay clubs, I've been to straight clubs, I've been to lesbian bars. I'ma tell you right now, if you are a confident heterosexual man and you want to have an incredible time, you want to have fun, you want strong drinks, you want pretty people to be around you, not just pretty men, pretty women go to gay bars too. Go to a fucking gay bar. They're lit as fuck.
Okay,
They're lit as
good.
fuck. The Abbey is always popping. It look like Mardi Gras every night at the fucking
yeah.
Abbey.
That is facts. That is facts. So, okay,
Yeah.
we're going to wrap. Tell a friend, subscribe on YouTube. We'll be back on Monday. And Jason said night. So.
Yeah, and y'all be ready because this week, just so y'all know, the show isn't being promoted on YouTube in the way that it should be because we still, we working through some things. But next week we're pushing it through the algorithm. So I'm just warning y'all because of Israel, because of abortion, because of transphobia, we're probably gonna have some trolls in the chat. So y'all just be prepared for that.
I need to figure out how to get rid of crazy. So I'm going to need to work on that. Okay.
We'll figure it out.
All right.
Okay, y'all.
Thank you guys. Thank you.
See you on
Danielle.
Monday.